Hello and welcome to our final installment of our trustee training series. Today we will be talking about advocacy. All of these trainings are being recorded. They are available on the State Library YouTube channel, the State Library Niche Academy, and we also have the videos up on our LibGuide. So to find the LibGuides, there is a link on a button on the State Library homepage. There's also a link above the search bar. Once you get to the LibGuides, select Library Boards and choose Public Library Board of Trustees. So who am I? My name is Monica Struck. I'm the Public Library Specialist with the State Library. And I am not a lawyer, so anything we touch on related to the law in these webinars is not legal advice. Please consult your local legal counsel with relevant questions. So today we are going to be talking about advocacy and the 3 W's and an H, and some do's and don'ts for advocacy. Advocacy is, an unwritten duty of the library board. It's not written in century code, but advocacy is one of the most important things that the library board does for their library. So where should you advocate for your library? So the short answer is everywhere, but some examples, you can use your social media accounts. You can share posts that the library makes. You can make your own posts. Just putting out there, what's going at the library, what people can do, exciting things that are happening. If you're part of a community organization like the Chamber of Commerce or, the local homeschool group, anything like that, bring the library, into conversations there. And as always, personal connections. You have your best friend, you notice they haven't been using the library much. You can say, hey, I know you're trying to do this one thing. The library can help you do that. So those are all places where you can advocate for the library. Who should you target your library advocacy toward? Again, the short answer is everyone, because there is something in the library for everyone. But if you want to, target your advocacy a little bit, library skeptics are a good group, because they're people who, don't necessarily understand the value of the library, the things they do. So, bringing awareness to that group is very valuable. And again, community organizations. Sometimes, they're not always aware of what the library is doing, and maybe they're trying to do the same thing, and the library can work together with the organization. So advocating to organizations can also help build partnerships. When should you advocate for the library? Again, I would say the short answer is all the time. But, daily interactions, you're at the grocery store, you're talking to your friend who's in line behind you, and you say, hey, I'm going to the book club later tonight. Do you want to go to the book club? Or anytime the library has a major event, summer reading, bringing awareness about the fun things the library is doing for that, or if there's, a big fundraiser event coming up, or, things of that nature. And it's also important to advocate for the library when it comes to funding. Go to the city council or, city commission, county commission, go to the meeting when they are deciding funding for the library. Talk about all of the exciting things the library has done throughout the year using the money that they received, and talk about things that you want to try to do, and exciting things like that. So how should you advocate? There are many ways to go about it, and it really depends on the situation that you are in. For the everyday interactions, highly encourage you to dream up an elevator pitch that's something that you could talk about in the length of a ride in the elevator from the main floor to the top floor. No more than 5 minutes. Just really quick, targeted, here's something going on at the library and this is how you could benefit from it. Letter writing is really good for like during the legislative session. Writing letters to the legislators can be really beneficial. But if you have the time, something like data storytelling can be useful. This is using the numbers, all of the data that the library has gathered throughout the year, and using it to tell the story of the library. And there are many different stories that that you can tell. Ones of transformation. Your library started doing one thing and then evolved into something else, or stories of overcoming challenges, all kinds of stories out there, and you sprinkle it with the numbers that back up the story, but it's more engaging than just reading off a list of numbers. But whatever method you are going for, make sure that you are specific so that the person you are speaking to or writing to will be able to tell what you are advocating for. Make sure that you are articulating the benefit to the group that you are reaching out to, because people they want to know how it's going to benefit them personally or benefit the community. So articulating that is important. Research is valuable because people want to know the numbers. They don't necessarily want the long, boring description of the numbers, but they want to know what the numbers are. Examples and anecdotes are very good because one real life story can be more valuable than a whole bunch of facts and figures. And it should stir them to some sort of action, because if you're advocating for something and the person walks away with a kind of meh attitude, like they might know a little bit more than they did, but they're not inclined to do anything different, the advocacy wasn't very effective. So making sure that they feel called to act in some way. Okay, so some do's and don'ts. You need to reach out. It's easy to fear failure, but you will fail 100% of the times you are not actually trying. So reach out. Make sure the message is targeted to the group you are speaking to. You will speak differently to library skeptics than you will to people who are already, invested in the library. stay focused, have a single message, come back to it, repeat it. You want the group that you are speaking to or writing to know exactly what you are talking about and asking for. And stay positive. It is easy to dwell on the negatives, and it's a human brain thing. We all do it. But, instead of saying, people never come to the library or people never check out this kind of material, turn it around. There aren't a lot of people coming to the library now, but we would like to change that. We've noticed that this type of material doesn't circulate. We are trying to promote it more, things like that. And as always, there are going to be people who say no, and that's okay. It's not a reflection on you or your advocacy efforts. Rejection is, about the person that said no. They have, made a decision. It is their decision to make. It's not a reflection on you. And don't always make advocacy all about the money. You can, promote the library without, asking for, a lot of money. You know, get people excited about the programs and the services, so that when you do need to ask for money, they aren't feeling burned out on the asking. All right. So that brings us to the end of our quick advocacy webinar. I will jump forward to the contact information slide, and then I will stop sharing my screen so that I can see if anything shows up in the chat. All right. Well, hearing none and seeing none, I really appreciate you taking the time to join in this with me. And I hope that it has been useful. You have a good day. Bye.